What's going on, everybody? Let's have a little Bible study, shall we? So, today we're going to be reading John chapter 13, verses 14 through 15. And it says, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you." So this is we're traveling down the Holy Week, right? And this is day 5 of Holy Week. And on this day, we have a bunch of significant things that are happening. But the main three things that happen on this day is the feet washing, the Last Supper, and Jesus going to the Garden of Gethsemane, right? So the feet washing happened right before the Last Supper. And traditionally, what would happen is because the roads could be dusty, dirty, and things like that, before they would eat, they would have their servants wash their feet, right? So Jesus being the Lord and Jesus being the teacher of them, did a servant job, a humbling job. Jesus said that the greatest of them should be the least, right? So what he's saying in that is that the person who's the pastor, who's the apostle, who's the preacher, who's whatever, the person that is high up should be able to humble themselves to get down and wash a floor, I'm sorry, scrub a floor or wash a dish or scrub a toilet or vacuum, a rug or a carpet, because your highness and calling does not negate that you still have to humble yourselves. And Jesus said that I'm setting an example of what it really and truly means to be a ruler, to be a king, that you will have to be a servant. Um, and Yeah, Jesus just really set an example for them in this moment, and he still sets that example for us now. He's setting an example for us to know that, yeah, you might have that church, you might have that ministry, you might have that organization, you might have that whatever it is, that career, but it is not for you to tower over people. I wrote a poem, and one of the lines in the poem, it basically says that, you sprouted butterfly wings only to laugh at caterpillars, not remembering that you were once caterpillar, right? A lot of times we, forget where we came from, or we forget where we have evolved from. So we get these butterfly wings and we say, oh my God, haha, look at the caterpillars running around on the ground. And we forget that they will be in our position at one point, and we also forget that we were once in their position at one point as well. um, Being humble and being meek is the whole Jesus's whole aesthetic, right? um, and I just really love this scripture because um, even this day, like, people don't wash other people's feet, but to wash someone's feet, to shine someone's shoes, to do someone else's laundry. I remember when I first started getting into theater, when I really started getting into professional theater, one of the first jobs that I had to do, oh my gosh, was wash the clothes, wash the undergarments of the performers. Right, I wasn't even on the stage. I wasn't performing. I was like, I'm so talented. I've been in other shows before. I've directed shows. And I'm like, I was in the washroom washing leotards and undergarments from dancers and performers who had been sweating and performing on stage. And this also, think about this also, these things had to be hand washed. So I'm hand washing the leotards of dancers who have been dancing for hours on end, and I was doing it every night. And if you know anything about stage, anything about Broadway or off Broadway, you can have 5 to 8 shows a week. 5 to 8 shows a week. So 5 to 8 times a week, I'm washing these garments. And it was the most humbling thing because I had directed shows, I had choreographed for shows, I had been main characters in shows. And for me to go from that to washing the leotards and the undergarments of dancers, male and female, um, it was humbling. If I um, can't say any less, it was humbling. But I really just love the fact that Jesus uh, took himself off of that high horse, took himself off of that throne um, many times to show us how we should live our lives. So to the pastor, to the preacher, to the prophet, to the person with the ministry, to the person with the organization, remain humble. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples, and then he told them, now you can wash each other's feet. You wash each other's feet. Remain humble. So if the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords got down to do a servant's job, who are you? Who am I? Who are they to say that this is beneath them? If you need to go and preach to a church with 5 members for free, who are you to say that you are above that? If you need to go into the juvenile detention center, which is what I'll be doing, which I don't want to do, but who's to say that you're beneath that? To go and speak to the homeless, to go and evangelize, in the streets. Who's to say that you always have to be on the flyer? Who's to say that you always have to have your name in lights? Who's to say that you always have to be on the ticket? Be humble. Be humble. Just as Jesus was humble. Because he's the example. We are Christians. I mean, we are living a life in accordance to the following of Christ's steps. So just be humble and sit down. But anyway, with that being said, my prayer, my encouragement first is that we do get to a place where we are humble, where we're not letting the fame get to us. There are a lot of moments where I see my star growing, right? Whether it be in ministry or whether it be in my performing arts, in my career as a performer. I see my star growing sometimes, and I always have to tell myself, like, God, keep me humble, because although I can say, well, I'm a humble person, you never know until you're in that space. So God, just keep me humble, because if I'm a household name one day, who knows where the enemy will try to take me. So God, keep me humble. Keep me humble, and even if keeping me humble means to not allow me to get that opportunity, keep me humble. But anyway, with that being said, make sure you're following this guy right here. Make sure you like the video, share the video, favorite the video, comment on the video, repost the video, and do all the things, and all the things. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, and light.